When you stop spending, people think you're failing. You are 28. It's Friday night, 8:30 p.m. You are sitting at a long table in a crowded restaurant. 12 people, your friends. The bill arrives. It's $1,400. Everyone throws down their premium credit cards. They laugh. They complain about the prices, but they pay. You look at the bill, and you put down exactly what you owe, $35 for your water and a salad. The table goes quiet. The friend next to you, the one who just leased a car he can't afford, looks at you with pity. He leans in and whispers, "Hey man, I got you if things are tight." You smile and say, "I'm good." You don't tell him that while he is paying 18% interest on that credit card to look successful tonight, you have $120,000 sitting in an index fund. You let him feel sorry for you, because you just realized something. When you stop spending money, people don't think you're smart. They think you're failing. Sit with that for a second. You have more money than anyone at that table, and they pity you. Read that again. The one person who is actually winning is the one they feel sorry for. The ones struggling with debt are the ones getting respect. That's not an accident. That's the whole system, working exactly as designed. And tonight, sitting at that table, you stumbled onto a secret most people never figure out their entire lives. There is an invisible rule running every friendship, every dinner, every group trip you've ever been on. You just broke it. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why breaking it is the smartest thing you will ever do. But first, let's talk about what really just happened at that table. You didn't just pay for a salad. You broke a contract no one ever wrote down, but everyone signed. Here's the truth nobody says out loud. Most friendships are built on spending money together. Think about it. What do you actually do with your friends? You go out to eat. You buy round drinks. You take the trips. You upgrade the cars and show each other. The bonding isn't the conversation. The bonding is the consumption. The shared receipt is the glue. So when you stop spending, you're not just saving money. You're quietly stepping out of the ritual. You're saying no to the one thing that holds the group together. And people feel that, even if they can't name it. That's why the table went quiet when you put down your $35. It wasn't about the money. It was about the rule. You refused to play the game everyone else agreed to play. And nothing makes a group more uncomfortable than one person who won't play along. You've probably already felt the edges of it. The friend who says, "Come on, it's just one trip. You only live once." The group chat that goes a little colder after you say you'll sit this one out. The half joke that isn't really a joke. Since when did you get so cheap? None of them mean to be cruel, but every one of those moments is the contract being enforced. The group is reminding you of the rule. Pay in or step out. There is no third option they're comfortable with. And the more disciplined you get, the louder those little reminders become. Watch what happens over the next few months when you keep doing it. You skip the bachelor trip that costs $3,000. You order the cheap thing on the menu. You keep driving the old car while everyone else upgrades. At first, they tease you. Then they get a little annoyed. And then comes the strangest part. They start to feel judged, even though you never said a word. Because your discipline is a mirror, and nobody likes the mirror. When you sit there, calm, not spending, you are accidentally showing them something they don't want to see. Their lack of control. Every time you say no, it quietly asks them why they always say yes. You're not judging them. You don't have to. Your restraint does it for you, just by existing. So they have two choices. They can look at you and ask themselves hard questions about their own habits, or they can decide that something is wrong with you. And almost every time, people choose the easier story. The one where you're the problem. The one where you're perceived as struggling. The one where you're seen as falling behind. It's far more comfortable for them to misunderstand your choices than to examine their own habits. Now here's where it gets interesting, because that pity, the thing that's supposed to sting, is actually the most powerful tool you have. Let me explain. When the world thinks you're broke, something quietly wonderful happens. The pressure disappears. Nobody expects the broke guy to buy the round. Nobody even the broke guy on the $5,000 trip. Nobody asks the broke guy to match their lifestyle. You get written off, and being written off is freedom. While they're busy feeling sorry for you, you are invisible. And invisible is exactly where wealth likes to grow. There's a strange peace in being underestimated. When people decide you're broke, they stop watching you. They stop measuring you against themselves. The competition just quietly ends, because they've removed you from the race in their own heads. No one tries to one-up the guy who has nothing. No one studies his choices. No one feels threatened by him. And in that blind spot, with no eyes on you and no expectations to meet, you are free to do the one thing none of them can do while they're performing. You can build, slowly, patiently, without an audience, without applause, without anyone trying to pull you back into the game. This is what people really mean when they talk about stealth wealth. It isn't just hiding money. It's something deeper. It's reaching the point where you no longer need anyone's permission to feel successful. You stop needing cable to clap. You stop needing the new car to prove anything. You stop needing the world to confirm that you're okay. And the day you stop needing that, you become almost impossible to control. Because think about why they spend in the first place. They spend to be seen. They spend so the table will nod, so the photo gets likes, so strangers think they made it. Their entire financial life is run by an audience. Meanwhile, your financial position quietly strengthens as theirs steadily erodes, and not a single one of them can see it happening. Letting them believe you're failing is not weakness. It's a shield. It's the strongest position at the entire table. They are performing for everyone. You are performing for no one, and the person performing for no one always wins in the end. Look closely and you'll see the whole table is a stage. The premium cards aren't really about paying. They're a performance. The complaining about the prices, while paying anyway, is part of the act. Look how expensive this is, and look how easily I handle it. Everyone is playing a role for everyone else, and the strange part is, no one in that audience even cares. They're too busy performing their own scene to truly notice yours. So they go into debt to impress people who aren't impressed, who are themselves going into debt to impress them right back. It's a room full of actors, all broke, all clapping for each other, terrified of being the one who stops. And you just stop, quietly, and the floor didn't open up. The world didn't end. You simply stepped off the stage and kept your money. Now think about what that $120,000 actually is, because it isn't a number you're hoarding out of fear. Every dinner you sat out, every trip you skipped, every upgrade you walked past, you converted into something they will never have. Options, years, the ability to walk away. That money is a buffer thick enough to survive losing a job. It's the freedom to quit something that's slowly killing you. It's mornings that belong to you instead of a boss. You didn't save money. You bought back your own life, $35 at a time, while they spent theirs renting a feeling that fades by the time they get home. The leased car in the parking lot will be worth almost nothing in 5 years. Your index fund will have quietly doubled. You bought the appearance of wealth. You bought the actual thing. And only one of those grows while you sleep. And do the quiet math on those dinners alone. One night out like this one costs a person well over $100 every single week. Over a year, it's thousands. Over a decade of Fridays, it's a small fortune, gone, with nothing left to show but a blur of receipts and a few photos. Now take that same money and leave it alone in the market for 10 years. It doesn't just sit there. It works. It compounds. It turns those skipped dinners into a number large enough to change your entire life. They ate their freedom, one Friday at a time, and called it living. You saved yours, one Friday at a time, and let them call you broke. But I won't pretend this road is easy. It has a cost, and it's heavier than the money ever was. The cost is being misunderstood by the people you care about. Years. You have to sit at that table and let your friends look at you like you're behind. You have to hear the pity in their voices. You doing okay, man? You have to watch them exchange glances when you order the cheap thing. And you can't defend yourself, because the second you explain it, the second you show them the account, whole quiet advantage is gone. So you endure the discomfort without protest. You smile, and you say nothing, and you carry the truth alone. And on some nights, driving home from a dinner like that, the doubt creeps in. Am I actually being smart? Or am I just cheap? Am I saving so hard that I'm missing my own life? Everyone else is out living, and I'm at home with a spreadsheet. That voice is real. It deserves an honest answer. The discipline was never about hoarding every dollar in fear. It's about not setting your future on fire just to feel accepted for one night. There's a difference between living and performing a life for people who aren't even paying attention. That's the part almost no one can handle. Not the budgeting, the loneliness, sitting in a room full of people you love, knowing they think less of you, and choosing the long game anyway. That takes a kind of strength that spenders never have to build. And it gets quieter than that, in ways that hurt more. Slowly, the invitations thin out. You said no enough times that they stopped asking. The photos start showing up without you in them. A friendship you thought was solid drifts, not because of a fight, but because you stopped paying the entry fee to belong. You have to make peace with that too, with the possibility that some of these bonds were never really about you. They were about the spending. And when the spending stopped, so did they. Letting those go, without bitterness, is its own kind of grief. Nobody warns you that building wealth can cost you a few friendships you thought were real. So picture the two of you, 10 years from now, your friend with the leased car. He's on his third lease by now, still paying interest, still buying the round, still chasing the nod from the table. And his account, after a decade of looking successful, is right where it started, maybe worse. And you, quiet, boring, the one they pitied, sitting on a number that can end the fear in your life forever. Free to work or not, free to leave, free. His silence at the end of the night is anxiety. Yours is peace. They look the same from across the table. They could not be more different. And the gap only widens. One day a real emergency hits. A job lost, a health scare, a chance that needs cash, right now, or it's gone. On that day, the man who spent a decade looking rich has nothing but a stack of bills and a panic he can't show anyone. And you, the one they pitied, reach into the quiet account you built in the dark, and you handle it. No drama, no begging, no sleepless nights. That is the moment all those Fridays were really for. Not to impress anyone. To make sure that when life finally tested you, you were the one person at that old table who was actually ready. The pity was never the cost of your discipline. It was the price of admission to a kind of safety none of them will ever feel. So go back to that restaurant. Friday night, the $1,400 bill, the quiet table, the friend leaning in, whispering, "I got you if things are tight." Let him whisper it. Let him feel like strong one. He needs that feeling more than you need to correct him. Because ultimately, the only assessment of your finances that carries any weight is your own. Not the table's. Not his. Yours. He thinks he's the one helping you. He has it exactly backwards. He's the one drowning, smiling, going down with a premium credit card in his hand. And you're the one who quietly learned how to swim years ago, while everyone was watching the people who looked the part. So the next time the bill comes, and the table goes quiet, and someone looks at you with that soft, pitying smile, you'll know the truth. You'll know what almost no one at that table will ever understand. Because true wealth isn't the car, or the round, or the premium card thrown on the table. True wealth is sitting at a table full of people trying to look rich, while knowing you are the only one who actually is. Let them misunderstand your path. It's the most valuable insight they'll never grasp. So what about you? Have you ever been the one at the table who got pitied for being careful with money? Did you correct them? Or did you let them believe it? Be honest, and tell me in the comments. Because your answer says everything about whether you're living for yourself, or for the table. I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourself, and let them keep underestimating you.